Hello everyone, my name is Marlon Masola. Today we're presenting my project, which is based on intellectual property and patent law specifically. I will cover four major topics in this presentation. I will start by giving a summary of what IP is and how patent law works, and then present the issues surrounding it. Then I will show how patent laws are handled in different countries, and I will end by conducting an ethical analysis of patent law using a utilitarian approach. So to start, what is intellectual property? Well, intellectual property is defined by the World Intellectual Property Organization, creations of the mind, such as inventions, literary and artistic works, the signs and symbols that the creator has rights to. The creator can then use the rights to apply for forms of intellectual property protection such as patents, copyrights, trademarks, etc. But today I will focus on patents for this presentation. Patents are basically a title given to a creator by a government, so that they have exclusive rights to monetize that product on the market for a certain number of years. It also grants the creator the right to prevent other people from creating, using, or selling a similar product. It's basically an exclusion right. On the surface, patents are a good way to boost innovation because it gives people a reward for inventing something and bringing it to market. Basically, patents incentivize innovation, or are supposed to incentivize innovation. One of the biggest issues that with patents is that they're tradable, which creates one of the worst ways a company can make money. Some companies' sole business model is to acquire as many patents as possible and either license them out or use them to win cases and make profits. These are known as patent trolls and patent warehouses. Patents can also be extremely bad for innovation and creativity, as well as for public health. For example, a pharmaceutical company can patent a certain medicine, and because of the patent, they're the only ones that are allowed to work with it, improve it, sell it, and use it. This would effectively create a monopoly and will prevent anyone else from being able to improve upon the medicine or distribute it for cheaper prices to those that need it. Pharmaceuticals is just one of the areas that patent law is controversial. Generic resources as well as software patents are also highly debated issues, especially when it comes to different countries. In the USA, both software patents and generic resource patents have effectively been terminated, as the Supreme Court ruled both basically unpatentable. In the cases Alice Corp vs. CLS Bank International for the software side, and the Association for Molecular Pathology versus Myriad Generics for the generic side. The Alice decision set the precedent for the way future software patents will be given. This is accomplished by having the product be not only new and inventive, but it must also be attached to hardware, which must also be patentable. This means that apps and abstract ideas that are not attached to its own hardware are not patentable. The Myriad decision is also huge in the way that it set the precedent in the US that genes cannot be patented. Here's a quick comment created by Julia Powell and Elias Kyriasis about the decision in the Alice case. Pause the presentation if you would like to read it. Other companies have differing ideas on the topic of patents. For example, in the EU, Article 52 of the European Patent Convention states that software cannot be patented. However, the courts can still grant protections if it is declared a computer implemented invention, which basically means that the hardware, that the software is patentable if it's tied to hardware. And as for generic resource patents in the EU, generic sequences remain patentable. China also gives patents for generic resources, and scientists in China conclude it is even an overall net positive to protect inventors and inventions with the patents. The chart shows support for genetic and material patents in China. This is from a BMC Med Ethics study that pulled data from scientific publishings from scientists in China. Now let's analyze these issues from ethical perspective, adhering to the principles of utilitarianism. According to utilitarianism, something is ethical if it is doing the most positive for the greatest amount of people. So let's apply that thinking to patent laws in general. First, patent laws do help innovation by rewarding creativity and by rewarding creativity. But patent laws are just too flawed, and instead end up creating monopolies for companies that hold a very specific patent that can't really be competed with. This, of course, would only benefit the company that holds the monopoly, so therefore it is not ethical on a utilitarian approach. Second, patents can be acquired for helpful things such as medicines and genetic material that can be used to create helpful inventions such as better medicines and maybe vaccines. But it is not bad on the surface, as it will promote a lot of invention. But as I stated above, companies instead abuse the patent law to keep prices high while killing competition by enforcing patent laws. This again only benefits those companies and in fact hurts people that could use those medicines or treatments to get healthier. Therefore, it is unethical. Third, patent trolls don't help anyone and use a bad business practice as a business model, so it makes this part of patent law unethical. Now I'm going to analyze a solution that I think could solve the patent problem. For example, make patents only active for 5 years after the product goes on the market. It still rewards creators by giving them a market advantage, and it will still promote innovation because after 5 years, someone else is going to improve upon the product, therefore creating more competition as well. It also renders patent trolls meaningless, since the length of patents is only 5 years and their only business model is to hold patents for as long as possible. In conclusion, patents are a form of protecting intellectual property, such that it helps innovation, but instead the abuse of flawed patent law has led to monopolies being created and innovation is stagnated. This is the end of my presentation. I hope you all liked it, and I thank you all for watching.